Here are a couple of sentences taken from the report's executive summary talking about how the council views its own efforts. The original intention of the scheme was to have a light touch approach, emphasizing self-regulation based on a code of conduct. And later, that the policy was an effort to establish a light touch licensing regime with the aim of self-regulation. A light touch, self-regulated regime. Cool, so let's start with self-regulation. I think we can all agree that there is regulation and self-regulation. Regulation, in this case, would include the application rules, stating who is eligible for a license, and the terms under which you can get your license suspended, like busking in the wrong place. If you don't have a license, you'll be busking illegally, and if you go against the terms, you'll lose your license. The regulations state that illegal busking can lead to you being fined, taken into custody, or have your equipment confiscated. All the above clearly falls under the heading regulation. As for self-regulation, the council has provided a voluntary code of conduct to follow. It says that buskers should hold public liability insurance of at least £2 million, don't use dangerous props, don't bring unlicensed animals to accompany you, only busk between the hours of 10 a.m. and 9 p.m, avoid being too loud, don't power amps with external power sources, be aware that noise can be generated by the audience, never obstruct property entrances or exits or pavements, cooperate with requests by authorized officers and the police, only sell merch if you have permission, make sure that no one could trip over your equipment or leave it unattended, respect other buskers and cooperate with any queuing system they have, talk to the council and the local community and use the forum, don't busk for longer than 40 minutes with a 20-minute break, and have a full and varied repertoire. In actual fact, the first 11 items on that list are part of the policy and application process. There's nothing voluntary about them. It's only the last 5 that are voluntary. When the council says that it was intended that the scheme would be self-regulating, unfortunately this has not been the case, are they talking about these 5 points? Because there isn't a single complaint between 2017 and 2019 about respect between buskers or unattended equipment. As for point 3, it was up to the council to implement the forum, and they decided not to. The 40-minute show, 20-minute break rule shouldn't be there at all. In the first draft of the policy, this used to be in the license conditions, but so many buskers complained about this specific point that the council agreed to take it out. It's probably an oversight that it has somehow remained in the code of conduct, which means that the only thing in the code of conduct that could be considered self-regulating or important is that last point, having a full and varied repertoire. Is that really what the report means when they say that the licensing regime was supposed to be self-regulating? All the other things they complain about are either irrelevant or literal crimes by the terms of the policy. I'm not sure what else is left up to the busker.